7 dinosaurs that could be living in Africa. Number 7. Kongamato. Different African tribes have given chilling testimonies about a flying reptile, similar to the pterosaur that is supposed to still exist among us. The creature has been sighted in places like the Giundu swamp in Zambia, Angola, and Congo. It has been described as a giant bird with brown wings, 2 meters long and a pointed beak with sharp teeth. The natives know it as the Kongamato, and it means the boat destroyer, named for what it does to the boats of African fishermen. Although the idea that a living pterosaur sounds interesting, there is still no photographic or audiovisual evidence to prove its veracity. There are only the stories and wounds of its victims, who number more than 100. Number 6. Lao. One of the strangest dinosaurs that could live in Africa today is the Lao, a creature similar to a donkey with fins, which, according to descriptions of those who saw it, has a kind of tentacle on its face and measures at least 100 feet long. Supposedly the creature lives in Sudan, specifically in the Zaraf River, Lake No, and Lake Victoria. Through reports dating back to the 19th century, it has been possible to ascertain the presence of this creature. In 1994, the alleged killing of a Lao was reported near the Adar marshes. However, its body was never found. Number 5. Mku Mbembu. Cameroon is another country in Africa where a living dinosaur may be alive. It is the Mku Mbembu, a creature quite large with the head the size of an adult hippopotamus. Those who have seen it describe it as having a jet black, flattened head similar to those of seals. The locals claim that this creature has a habit of killing hippopotamuses for fun, since in the end it does not eat them. Number 4. Kasai Rex. The location is the Democratic Republic of Congo, in the rainforests in the Kasai Valley. There lies the story of a living T-Rex. A report made in 1932 by John Johansson, a Swedish plantation owner who was in the area on a tour with a local guide. It is said that on the route they were observing a rhinoceros in its habitat. In just a few moments, a huge creature similar to Tyrannosaurus with an estimated height of 43 feet was seen attacking a rhinoceros. According to the description, this creature was reddish in color with black stripes, a long snout, and many teeth. Its feet were very thick, similar to those of a lion, made for running at high speed. In addition to this story, there is also a story told by a hunter. The location was the same, the Kasai Valley. A man was in the middle of the forest when he came across 2 elephants. In the process, a huge monster over 50 feet tall appeared out of nowhere. The creature had the head and body of a lizard. The natives have been questioned about the existence of this prehistoric animal, but it seems that they have no knowledge of this particular creature, and it has mostly only been seen by outsiders, which makes the reports even more questionable. Whether they're real or not, these are interesting stories. Number 3. Nguma Monene. This being apparently lives in the Congo's forests, and those who have seen it describe it as a huge lizard, while others describe it as having the shape of a snake with an impressive crest on its back. Its specific location is the Great Ubangi River, known as Dongu Mataba. One of the most famous stories in the area has been told by Joseph Ellis, a shepherd who saw it swimming in 1971. While the shepherd was sailing on a canoe, he described it as a gigantic specimen with a tail that was the same length as the boat. Its body had huge, protruding bumps that were clearly visible. Its movement in the water had created strong gusts and waves that threatened to overturn the canoe. According to legend, the creature is very aggressive and focuses its hatred towards hippos, killing them on sight. Number 2. The Congo is once again the setting for another prehistoric creature. This is the Mbielu Mbielu Mbielu, which means animal with boards growing on its back. Its name clearly describes what this monster has on its body, a series of armored crests which can be seen on its back. It is located only in the sea. It seems to be its nature, and it's rarely sighted on land. Those who have seen it describe its back as being covered with a group of green algae, which makes it glow from a distance. Number 1. Emela entuca. The Emela entuca is one of the best known living dinosaurs on this list. It is translated into English as elephant killer, whose most incredible description defines it as a reptile the size of an adult elephant. It has a robust, armored body, a heavy, thick tail similar to a trunk, and a very prominent horn located above its head. Apparently it is very heavy, semi-aquatic, and its favorite place is the muddy waters of the swamp. Despite being a vegetarian, those who have seen it describe it as a fierce and born killer of elephants, buffaloes, and hippopotamuses. In 1930, the first stories about the Emela entuca began to come out from J.E. Hughes, a Western adventurer who had written about a local tribe living on the banks of the Luapula River. According to the story, this tribe had ended the life of one of these beasts. The story was recorded in the travel book called 18 Years at Lake Banguelu in the year 1933. By 1954, the Emela entuca was already public news when a game inspector from Likuala called Lucien Blancou wrote an article in the scientific magazine Mammalia, where he related the presence of a beast that disemboweled elephants. In the 80s, Dr. Roy P. Mackle had the belief that the Emela entuca was a survivor of the Centrosaurus family, an extinct dinosaur that had a big horn on its head. This theory had been supported by the legendary Bernard Heuvelmans, a cryptozoologist of the time. Zero Zone. Mokele Mbembe. The Mokele Mbembe is the most famous living dinosaur in Africa. Its name is translated into English as the one that stops the flow of rivers. It is located deep in the swamps and forests of the Congo River basins. This beast is much larger than an elephant, has a long neck and a small reptile head above it. Its legs are very short but robust. These characteristics make it very similar to the Brontosaurus. It is semi-aquatic in nature and vegetarian. In the year 1909, Hunter Carl Hagenbeck wrote about the creature in his autobiography called Beasts and Men. For this explorer, the story of the Mokele Mbembe had been heard from the tribes who described it as a terrifying and enormous beast, with a body half elephant, half dragon. Besides living dinosaurs, this planet is home to countless other strange creatures. Another of the most impressive cases speaks about the existence of creepy snakes on the planet. If you want to know more about this, here is the video.